First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
2nd and 9 now. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So the completion good for 6 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2. He'll look to throw. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down. Now a draw play. It's Portis. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Stafford. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And we're going to see this offense try and spread the field a little bit and utilize the outside 3rd of the field, especially against man coverage. But that time, the defense was up to the task, forcing the incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
Those big ends don't really care what the play call is. Big pass, RPO, handoff, whatever. Their job, get behind the line of scrimmage every play and run down whoever has the ball. Mission accomplished there.
And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2. The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Throwing is Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And he's got it inside the 10. So they will wave off the flag and let the completion stand.
Really great job by the receiver fighting through all the contact and still coming down with the football. All that great work in practice being put into the game.
Yeah, give him some credit there, able to turn nothing into something as he spins forward for a gain of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1. Sanders again, and he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. So that a great sequence for these guys to begin the ball game. They force the punt on one end, then come right down the field and score on the other.
And that's a great example of leaning on each other and building a little momentum that way. How about the defense forcing the punt, turns it over to the offense with confidence, and they take it downfield and score.
Extra point good by Prater, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a 2nd and just a few inches left. They'll give this up the middle to Portis. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. On the slant, he gets it to Clark. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. He's got it to the 43 here.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd and 6. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Stafford. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Oh, partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 8. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that is incomplete.
Well, the best don't mind making tough throws, but that was a real difficult one right there. Out of the pocket, trying to beat double coverage. More times than not, that's going to end up as an incomplete pass, if not worse.
Washington on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
As Sanders with a carry on first down as he picks his way forward for a gain of 5.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Another run with Sanders. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. He's going to look deep for more. And he's got it inside the 10. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 49 yards. And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. An inside give. Here's Portis. And from the 25, they work this to the 29. A gain of 4. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. This is Smith with a grab. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on third down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Running right, Portis. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. 26 yards. And the Commanders have cut it back within a score. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Keep our poise. Come on, let's go. Let's dominate this. Get something together. Let's go. Come on now. Let's go, baby.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle.
That's a big conversion there on third down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Stafford. He'll find Jones again, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, 66 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down. They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders taken down at the 30.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 30 on second down, Stafford, it's caught by Sanders. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. An extra man in the secondary for Washington on third down. Now it's Stafford. Out route, he finds his man. It's Jones. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this first half, and on third down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
Stafford on first down. This is caught, and he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's another first down as they look his way again, this time 19 yards.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 2nd and goal, Stafford, and he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. And not a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal, a loss of 6, and now it's 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Lions in the lead and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. Extra point good by Hopkins. And they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a one-score game. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Dancing away at the 35. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. Johnson with a completion over the middle. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And 3rd and 1 now. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This is Brown going up the middle. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. Second down. On the give, here's Portis. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. They'll run on third down with Portis. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Lions are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. After the interception, here's Stafford. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Running right, here's Sanders. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. And that's incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Let's go. Get it. Let's go, baby.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw, Stafford. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. They hand it off to Portis. And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Commanders in possession of the football, but they trail as we start this fourth quarter. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Returnable here from the 38. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. On first down at Stafford. Jump. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it looks like, yes, the Commanders have it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it here with Portis. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. 49 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw here. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them the completion.
Washington on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. So the pass goes out of bounds, but he was not outside of the tackle box when he threw that. He's got to be careful.
You and I both know if it's even close, they're going to give it to the quarterback. They don't want to throw that flag unnecessarily. So if you're just in the area, you're going to be okay.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. 4th down trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
A throw over the middle taken in. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7. Back to throw again. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught, pulled in by Clark. Touchdown! A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Make plays, y'all. Make plays. Let's focus on what we got to do here. Anytime that ball comes to me, I try to take it to the house. That's a good one. Let's just be perfect.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sanders. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
From the 38, Stafford. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. From just shy of midfield, Stafford. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. Fast footwork by Sanders. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 37. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll go again with Sanders. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. And he'll be stopped short of the first down, right around the 18-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. Prater's kick is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the fourth quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Looking for the crossing route, and he's got Mitchell. 13 yards there and a Washington first.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 39 yards there, a big one.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Still time to go for the win, but they've got to get up and spike it quickly. And it's caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
It's one play at a time, baby.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
What a play. Maybe a game-saving play on the knockdown there.
That was beautiful, wasn't it? If you're looking at it from the defense's perspective, they looked like they had a shot at it. Maybe a completion. Ball gets knocked away. Can they rise up and do it again?
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try and run for it here with Portis. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
CD, put on your OC cap here. What do? 2nd and 1, you get stuffed. Now 3rd and 1.
You know, in the old days, I would have said we're going to line up and we're going to run the same darn play and we're going to get it right. But nowadays, as tough as defenses are, I want some mobility. I want some movement, putting the ball in the hands of my quarterback and giving him a run-pass option.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go, baby. Turn it up. Once again.
Dustin Hopkins now for the Washington field goal.
This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right through. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
Let's rock and roll. Let's roll. Let's go.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. The right side, that's complete to Clark. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now a carry for Portis. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. They'll look to throw. Drops this one off to Portis. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's 3rd and 4. Big play here. Try to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. They'll look to throw here. It's caught. Mitchell.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Back-to-back completions, and that puts them in enemy territory.
And we're always looking for that elusive term, momentum, aren't we? And I think they're building it with the back-to-back completions. Now they feel like they can either take a shot or continue to build it the way that they're doing now. Safe throws, get it to their playmakers, and see what happens.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. And this complete to Mitchell.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call, but when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Now a draw play. It's Portis. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
It's 3rd and 4. Big play here, trying to keep this opening drive of overtime alive. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
They'll set up a throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
That last pass puts him over 300 yards now in the game. More importantly, though, big first down here in OT.
And the team around him has a lot of confidence now after picking up that first down. Everyone seems a little more energized. But did I hear you before the game call in and say, this is my quarterback for your fantasy league? Because he just gave you a good...
And he is in for the score! And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
Let's go, baby. Turn it up. Let's do our thing. Let's do it. Let's be smart. Let's go. They can't stop it. Let's get some love. Here we go. Let's do what we do. Let's go. Come on. That's what it is. Let's go, fellas.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. First throw in overtime for Stafford. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Here's Stafford.
Connecting with Johnson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford, and he's got the hook up to Moore.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
On the draw, here's Sanders. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
96 yards on the ground for him so far.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Oh, it's intercepted. That'll seal it.
And he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.